Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will you please remain standing for the Star-Spangled Banner?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets were singing there. It proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you. Would you please be seated?
free.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Juan Seguin Commencement Program 2013. Juan Seguin Cougars, Class of 2013. The day we have worked for at least 12 years is finally here. We have survived the trials and errors that sometimes made us doubt that we could reach this moment in our lives, but without a doubt, they have made us stronger. Despite any and all hardships, each and every one of you has made it this far, and I have no doubt that you have the ability to do something great of yourself. To our family members, thank you. Thank you for supporting us in everything we have attempted. Thank you for pushing us to do better. Thank you for always being there. Perhaps the greatest blessing a person can have is a loving family, so remember to never take them for granted. To our teachers, thank you for getting us here today. Without our teachers, we would be nothing. Teachers often get far less recognition than they deserve, so today it is important to recognize that we would not be here right now without our teachers. This year, we lost one of our most beloved teachers, but I believe Ms. Berry would be proud to know that in losing us, many of us realize how much of an impact teachers have on our lives, and I know she is looking down on us, beaming with pride. To my classmates, our class has seen more change in our 4 years at Seguin than any other graduating class. We survived the construction when renovations were made to the school. We've had 3 different principals, and most of all, we survived losing Miss Berry. But despite all of this, we did not quit. We never lost sight of the most important thing, today's graduation. These hardships brought our school and our class closer together, and we can proudly say that we are Seguin strong. After today, we are all officially alumni of Juan Seguin High School. So during the course of this ceremony, I encourage you all, and this applies to everyone in the audience as well, to take it all in, soak in the moment, remember it. This is the last time we will all sit together in the same room. For many of us, it is the last time we will ever see many of our classmates. Today, I ask you to put aside any and all differences you may have with each other, because today, none of that matters. All that matters is us and our accomplishments. There have been many graduation ceremonies before now. There are many others happening right now, and there will be many more in the future. But no other graduation will be like this. This group of students will never graduate together again, and that makes today one of a kind. With that said, I hope everyone here enjoys today, their summer, and the rest of their lives. The memories and friends we have made will last us a lifetime. Remember, what matters most is not where you came from, but where you are going. But this does not mean to forget your past. It simply means to always work towards your future. Thank you.
There are some guests here today that I would like to introduce. First off, Dr. Marcelo Cavazos, Superintendent of Schools. Excuse me. Mr. Bowie Hogg, President, who could not be with us today, but I guess he's here in spirit. So. Miss Jamie Sullins, Vice President. Dr. Aaron D. Rice, Secretary. Miss Gloria Peña, Assistant Secretary. Mr. Peter Barron, Trustee. Mr. John Hibbs, Trustee. Mr. Tony Pompa, Trustee. Miss Rhonda Greer, Principal of Ashworth Elementary. Mr. David Dillard, Principal of Beavency Elementary. Miss Susie Mitchell, Principal of Beckham Elementary. Mr. Mark Kamla, Principal of Williams Elementary. Miss Nicole Turnipseed, Principal of Piercy Elementary. Mr. Robert Cox, Principal of Fitzgerald Elementary. Miss Laura Thurston, Principal of Owsley Junior High. And last but not least, Mr. Michael A. Hill, Assistant Superintendent for Administration.
I will be introducing the counselors and administrators. Please welcome Mr. Danny Welch, our lead counselors. Ms. Nicole Shepard, our counselor. Ms. Alicia Curry, Advid counselor. Mr. Tom Land, counselor. Ms. Megan Horn, counselor. Ms. Carolyn Hammonds, counselor. Now we have our principal, Mr. Samuel D. Nix. Ms. Carrie Pride, our academic assistant principal. Mr. Rick Humes, assistant principal. Ms. Glennie Simmons, assistant principal. Mr. Arvis Vonner, assistant principal. Last but not least, Dr. Rick Evans, assistant principal and senior representative. Woo!
Good afternoon. My name is Megan Horn. I'm one of the counselors here at Seguin. It is my pleasure to introduce your salutatorian, Brandy Lynn Monene. Would Brandy Lynn's parents, Evans and Grace Monene, please stand? I would also like to introduce Brandy Lynn's sister, Brittany Monene. At this time, we honor each of you for the support and motivation you have given to Brandy Lynn throughout her life. Thank you. Determined, compassionate, and intelligent are just a few of the adjectives I would use to describe Brandy Lynn. Her determination and intelligence have been apparent in all that she does. Brandy Lynn has taken all honors and college-level courses in all of her core curriculum throughout high school. She has pushed herself academically not only to achieve, but to truly learn. Even more impressive, these academic standards have been met and achieved in 3 years of high school. In such a short time in high school, Brandy Lynn has not only achieved academic success, she's also stayed very active in school. She has been a member of the Vice President of the Future Business Leaders of America, the Vice President of Student Council, the Historian and Key Club. She has also been a member of the Environmental Club, the National Honor Society, as well as a member of Leadership Arlington. Along with all of this, Brandy Lynn has played competitive soccer both for Seguin and in community leagues for the last 12 years. All of these achievements are examples of Brandy Lynn's strength and her motivation. This motivation has pushed her to find her future success as well. Brandy Lynn has been offered a full ride to the University of Texas at Austin, where she will pursue her bachelor's degree in cellular and molecular biology in order to prepare her for the pursuit of a medical degree. Once she achieves her medical school degree, her plan is to join Doctors Without Borders. I have rarely witnessed a student that carries herself with the confidence and the maturity of Brandy Lynn. She treats others with respect, and she approaches her relationships with the same compassion, drive, and intelligence she awards to her studies. She is a true pleasure to work with and to know. She is a shining example of what we all should strive to be. Working with Brandy Lynn has been a true gift. She is an honor and an inspiration, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce your 2013 salutatorian, Brandy Lynn Monene.
faculty members, friends, family members, and honored guests, the class of 2013 sits before you. We have finally done it. After a gruesome 12 years of studying, cramming, and learning, we, the graduates, are ready to complete the next step of our lives. And it starts here. It starts now. It starts with this graduation ceremony. By now, I am pretty sure that everyone is already tired of sitting, praying that I'm nearing the end of my speech, and wishing that you could fast forward to my closing remarks. Well, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but please humor me for just a few more minutes. This moment on stage is surreal to me. When I made my decision to graduate a year early, I never in my wildest dreams fathomed that I would have this humbling opportunity to speak in front of my classmates as salutatorian. However, I know that it is not by my own power that I'm here today, but through the grace of God. I am eternally grateful for all the blessings He has bestowed upon me. Before I go any further, I would like to take the time to thank those individuals who made this day possible. To my beloved family, this day is as much yours as it is mine. My parents are the backbone that hold me together. Through their never-ending love, support, and devotion, they have motivated me to accomplish seemingly insurmountable feats and continue to mold me into the individual I am today. The dreams which I hold so dear to my heart blossomed from the seed which my parents planted within me throughout the years. Though I know I will never be able to repay all that they have sacrificed for me, I can only hope to one day embody a fraction of their demeanor. Mama, natata, nakupenda na isanti sana. To my sister Brittany, I don't know where I'd be without you. You are both an inspirational role model and a best friend. A special thanks to my extended family for being my biggest fans, who are there every step of the way. To my teachers, without your instruction and guidance, I would not be standing here. I will forever remember all of my administrators, teachers, and faculty who all helped me realize there is no limit to what one is able to achieve. It is not ceiling high or sky high, it is infinitesimal. All of these individuals were instrumental parts of my life. In fact, the lesson I want to share with you today stems from the influence each of these individuals have had on me, and it starts simply with the words, in, out, in, out. The tempo of an internal metronome, paced with careful accuracy and precision, dominates the past, the present, and the future. A forever exchange. This rhythmic pattern never misses a beat. Although at times it seems to fly, the beat stays consistent. As we perfect our graduation smiles, as we arrive at this ceremony, even as we sit here listening to me drone on, in, out, a never-ending cycle of harmony, a never-ending cycle of tempo, a never-ending cycle. In, out, in, out, in, out, and in once more. The cycle of time is never-ending. If we are not careful, we will let time bypass us. We will become overpowered by the stalker named time. There are many things in life which control humans, but perhaps the most constricting is time. We as humans forever remember the passing moments of our childhood. We remember our embarrassments, our joys, our sorrows, and today, we remember the accomplishment that this ceremony symbolizes. The lesson today is to make the most of our time, because time waits for no one. It continues on its cycle, leaving those individuals who didn't take advantage of it behind. Fellow classmates, think back to your freshman year. How were you then? Look at how you are now. Has this transformation not occurred within what seems to be just the blink of an eye? Thus, I urge you to make the most of your time, because while you live your life, time won't slow down for you. Thus, you must strive to stay ahead of life's metronome. Make wise choices, pursue your dreams, but above all, live life to the fullest. This does not mean do something stupid or outrageous and scream, YOLO. No. This means involve yourself in the community, throw yourself into extracurricular activities, be a leader for your peers, and achieve success in whatever you pursue in life. whether it means going to college for a degree or getting a job right after high school. Most importantly, do not measure your success from what others perceive of you, but how you perceive yourself. And always find time to thank those who helped you achieve success. My parents strived to make a better life for me, traveled from Kenya to America in hopes that their future children would have a better life. However, their story isn't singular. They are like so many of the parents sitting here today who came from Vietnam, Colombia, and other countries in hopes that we, the children, would achieve a slice of the American dream. And now this slice sits on the horizon. We have made it. We have graduated high school, and only we have the power to hold us back. This is the start of the beginning. Don't let time control you. Instead, control time. God bless and thank you.
It is now also my honor to introduce our 2013 valedictorian, Daniel Nguyen. Would Daniel's parents, Min Chao Nguyen and Guac Nguyen, please rise? I would also like to recognize Daniel's siblings, Fern, Tammy, and Long Nguyen. We honor all of you for all you have done to help motivate, support, and love Daniel along the way. I have had the distinct privilege of knowing Daniel since he was in junior high school at Owsley. Even then, his smile could brighten a room, and his motivation was an example for his peers. When I began at Seguin this year, it was no surprise to me that Daniel had continued on his path of success. He's not only maintained high academic standards and taken only honors courses for all of his core classes all 4 years, Daniel's also maintained the charm, the sense of humor, and the love of life he has always had. This personality has made him much loved to the students and the faculty at Seguin. This was witnessed at Senior Awards last week, in which his own peers gave him a standing ovation. Daniel has worked very hard academically to be able to stand before you today as the valedictorian. However, he's also enjoyed high school. He has been a member of Future Business Leaders of America all 4 years and the president of the organization this year. He has competed at the national level of FBLA as well. Daniel has also been active in and president of the National Honor Society. On top of this, he has been a member of the varsity tennis team for 4 years, the Key Club for 4 years, and the Society of Ethnically Diverse American Students. On top of all of that, he has also maintained a part-time job. I could go on and continue listing the many accomplishments that Daniel has made throughout high school, but I believe you understand already. These accomplishments are now beginning again. Daniel has been accepted to Southwestern University in Georgetown, Texas, and has received academic scholarships totaling $103,000. These funds will be used towards the pursuit of a bachelor's degree in chemistry and his future education in dental school. I have no doubts that Daniel will continue to be a productive and successful member of our society. Honestly, it's hard to think of Daniel without smiling. His exuberant personality brings me joy each time I speak with him. He is the perfect combination of discipline and drive with charm and fun. It gives me great honor to introduce your 2013 valedictorian, Daniel Nguyen.
Good afternoon, fellow classmates, friends, family, and thank you for coming to celebrate this huge milestone in our lives today. 67,392,000. Those are the number of seconds we spent in school, the number of seconds in order to achieve one goal. The goal of being able to walk across this stage for 13 seconds, 2,340 long days, and 18,720 hours of vigorous work, all for 13 seconds. People may think they have been cheated, but who cares? The experiences and the moments we have had have been priceless. We started on this journey 13 years ago on the quest to be where we are today, and class of 2013, we did it. Writing this speech for our commencement ceremony has probably been the hardest thing I have ever done. People would tell me, Daniel, this speech better not be long. Daniel, we better be able to understand you. And Daniel, you better talk about how I always clean your dirty socks. That last one was from my mom. But after everything, those were the only guidelines I had in writing the speech. There was no topic I should write about, no page minimum or maximum, nothing. I could write about food, Iron Man, or straw hats. After hours of sitting at the computer in front of a blank document, trying to create a topic for this speech, it hit me. This ceremony, this graduation, is kind of like the speech. After today, after we walk across the stage, there will be no guidelines given on how we should go on about our lives. Instead, we have to take what we have learned through our high school career and create our own guidelines that will lead us to our next destination. We can choose to sleep all day, watch TV all night, and party until we drop dead on the floor. Some of you guys are like, oh yeah. But I, for one, literally accumulate a puddle of sweat at the computer just thinking about it. In a few minutes, we will no longer be teenagers. We will be adults. We will be given more responsibilities and decisions to make, but whether the choices will be beneficial or detrimental will be up to us. So class of 2013, are we ready to become adults? After looking back at the accomplishments that we have had at Seguin High School, I am 100% certain we are ready to take this next stage in life together. Throughout the past 4 years, we have achieved the impossible and climbed the highest mountains. We fought battles we thought we could never win and plowed down steel walls that stood between us and our ambitions. We have already established our own guidelines, and they have brought us to where we are today. We have been preparing ourselves for this moment for as long as we can remember. And today, my fellow classmates, we will become protocol-free graduates from Juan Seguin High School to class of 2013. Despite this amazing journey we have taken, none of us will have been able to complete it alone. Throughout my high school career, I have been lucky to be able to meet and make many friends. However, there are 3 that have always been by my side since elementary school, junior high, and high school. Thank you, Ivy Vu, Dewey Wynn, and Morris Nguyen. I also would like to thank my aunt and uncle and cousins who flew all the way from Australia to celebrate this special occasion with my family and I. I would also like to send out my gratitude to my grandparents, my great aunt, and my great grandma, who just turned 99 last month, for always keeping me smiling through the good and the bad. And to my aunt, Yitu, whenever we were on the verge of being kicked out on the streets, you gave us a house to live in and eased the financial stress that followed my family. And for that, on behalf of my siblings and I, we truly thank you. And how can I forget my brothers and sisters? Thank you, Long, Fern, and Tammy, for being my best friends and my emotional support throughout the whole journey. And after the hardships we have overcome, we did not let anything stop us, and we are all one step closer to our dreams. And my mom, you are the definition of a strong woman. Mom, I want you to realize how amazing you are, that words cannot express how much you mean to me. You have been my everything and my motivation in life. You have raised 4 children by yourself, got 2 of them into medical school, and 1 of them to pharmacy school. We owe our life to you. You have done everything for us. You spent most of your life working morning and night just so we could keep living ours. You are our hero. On behalf of my fellow classmates, we would like to thank all our family and friends who have been there for us and pushed us to be where we are today. So now, the time has come. After 67,392,000 seconds, class of 2013, let's graduate.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce our newly appointed Superintendent, Dr. Cavazos. Dr. Cavazos is a well-invested leader of this community in the success of the Arlington Independent School District. We firmly believe that under the direction of Dr. Cavazos, that the Arlington Independent School District will be a premier school district that the community, the parents, the staff, and the students well deserve. Please join me in welcoming our superintendent, Dr. Marcelo Cavazos.
Thank you, Mr. Nix. And first and foremost, class of 2013, Seguin High School, congratulations for making it to your graduation. In a few minutes, you'll be walking across this stage to receive your high school diploma. And I'd like to share with you that as you reach certain success points in your life, like today, very significant milestone, you'll be walking across many other stages on your journey to success, that as you reach those success milestones, that you not forget to reach back and help someone reach their success. Your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, someone you may not even know, a friend of yours, that help them reach their success. Because you know, I'm sure you've learned by now, that your collective success is what makes the world a better place. Your individual success is important, but you're more interdependent than you are independent. And so as you walk across this stage and as you prepare for your life, whether you're going out in the workforce or college, know that you are exceptionally prepared because you've attended Seguin High School and you've attended Arlington Independent School District, and you are exceptionally prepared for your future. Parents, friends, neighbors, significant others in these young people's lives, thank you for spending the time investing in these young people throughout the years, encouraging them, celebrating, rewarding them, punishing them, hopefully not very much, scolding them, etc., for your time and your investment on these young people's lives. To continue that as they journey through their life, they'll need much support, and you've demonstrated that together you can accomplish much. I also would like, seniors, for you to take just a moment today at some point to reflect upon somebody who could not be here today, whether they've passed or they physically could not be here. Take some time to think about them, that they've helped you in your journey to success. So class of 2013 from Seguin High School, I'm very proud of you, very proud of your accomplishments, and congratulations.
President Hogg, in his absence, Dr. Cavazos, members of the Arlington Independent School District Board of Trustees, parents and guests, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for the Seguin High School senior class 2013. Thank you, teachers, counselors, and staff of Seguin for your dedication and commitment. Your contribution to the education and growth of these students will be felt for many years. I would like to thank the senior class sponsors, Mariana Ellis and Cheryl Spear, for all of your hard work in ensuring that these seniors experienced an unforgettable year. I would like to thank the Noble 9 principals for your leadership and commitment to ensuring a quality education for not only these graduates, but for the up-and-coming entire Seguin Nation. Congratulations, parents and families of the class of 2013. I know that you are proud of your son and daughter, and you have every right to be. Thank you for entrusting your children with us. It has been an honor for us to serve them. This is a graduating class that has achieved and excelled in every area. They have represented their families, their schools, their community, and most importantly, themselves very well. They have exhibited academic excellence, school spirit, integrity, respect, and have built long-lasting relationships. As evidence of their commitment to the aforementioned core values, I would like to list just a few of their accomplishments. Our girls basketball team are district champions and regional quarterfinalists. Our boys basketball team are district champions and regional quarterfinalists. We had 4 All-State players named, 2 academic All-State students, and 2 athletic All-State students. Our 4x200 relay qualified for the regional state finals. Our amazing star line received sweepstakes. Our orchestra received sweepstakes. Our band received sweepstakes. Our choirs received sweepstakes. Our one-act play advanced to the regionals. Our cheerleaders were national champions. This senior class has been awarded more than $2.7 million in academic and athletic scholarships. Absolutely. This senior class has logged more than 3,000 hours of volunteer service. And for the first time ever in the history of Seguin High School, we can proudly now say that we have a National Merit Scholar in Miss Kara Rente. Miss Rente will be attending Stanford University in the fall. Now, briefly to the seniors that sit before me, anticipating the receipt of the key to their future, your diploma. You have been a very resilient class, a class that has remained dedicated and committed and determined in the midst of constant change, in the midst of loss and in the midst of uncertainty. Your resolve, come what may, to remain focused on the task at hand is what we are here to celebrate today. In the short time that I've had the pleasure of serving as your principal, you've already confirmed that you are well prepared to achieve and excel at your college or career of choice. The challenge that I set before you today is this. Remember this, you are stepping into a world that is full of problems, a world where there are barriers and difficulties and obstacles at every turn. You are stepping into a world where the norm is to focus on the problem, to complain about the problem, to become consumed by pointing out the problem. I challenge you not to be normal. I challenge you to be tomorrow what you are today, and that is be committed to excellence. In life, it is important to identify the problem, yes, but don't stay there. I challenge you to be one of those who focus on the solution. Be individuals who realize that your role is not to focus on the problem, but to be the problem solver. To look at barriers as an opportunity for growth and discovery, and as your superintendent so said to you, to reach back and help those behind you to reach their goals. Everything that you need to overcome any situation already rests inside of you. I encourage you to always start there. Look for how you can be an agent of change. Look for how you can contribute and how you can make this a better place for not only you, but for your posterity. For you truly are our hope for tomorrow. And I, for one, am excited about that hope. Congratulations to each of you, and best wishes on everything that you will accomplish. In his absence, President Hall, members of the Board of Trustees, and Superintendent Dr. Cavazos. The students who have met all state and local requirements as set forth by the Texas Education Agency and the Arlington Independent School District are hereby certified to you as candidates for graduation and will be granted a high school diploma with all of the rights and privileges this diploma carries by law. By the authority invested in me as the principal, I proudly proclaim them to be graduates of Juan Seguin High School. Will the first row stand to be recognized to receive your diplomas? Parents and friends of the graduates, I appreciate that this is a very special moment in each of your lives. In order that each of you is able to hear your graduate's name called, I ask that your applause and recognition not be excessive. Thank you.
Mahmoud Haitham Aburabi, Avid graduate. Miriam Itsu Awasavito Mendoza, recommended. Bernice Nana Adoma. Nicolette Oseje Agedo, magna cum laude, recommended, avid graduate. Osaze. Nicolette Osaze Agedo. Lorena Aguilar. Alexis Alanis, recommended, 3-year graduate. Luisa Camille Bumatai Alejandro, cum laude, recommended, avid graduate. Davion Monte Alexander Johnson, recommended. Muhammad Ali, magna cum laude, distinguished. Samia Ali, recommended. Sarah Ali, recommended, 3-year graduate. Brittany Jonelle Allen, recommended. Kamar Mumad Al-Sahi, recommended, 3-year graduate. Reina Al-Tamimi, recommended, 3-year graduate. Angelica Selena Alvarado. Idalia Alvarado. Stephanie Julianne Alvarez, recommended. Dang Chal Amal, recommended. Sarah Jessica Arias, recommended. Brandon Scott Atwell, recommended. Tabitha Ann Ottenreith. Yanira Abigail Aviles, recommended. Dwayne Charles Ayers, recommended. Abdul Rahman Samir Badran, recommended, 3-year graduate. Ziamora Eliana Baeza. Canbree Ashley Bailey, magna cum laude, distinguished, avid graduate. Shamira Matthew Bailey, recommended. Mark Isaac Holt Baker, recommended. Kendrell Cardell Baldwin. Taylor Lane Baldwin, recommended. Brandon Denzel Barrett, distinguished. Megan Nancy Barron, cum laude, recommended. Ashton Dene Batty, cum laude, recommended, avid graduate. James Wesley Batten, distinguished. Dominic Nicole Bauhaus, cum laude, recommended. Austin Ray Beck, cum laude, recommended. Elizabeth Marie Barrison, cum laude, recommended. Zita Chantel Berry, recommended. Amanda Lynn Beceda, magna cum laude, distinguished, avid graduate. Tierra Brianna Blue. Tanika Marie Bojo. Christopher Mason Bolware, recommended. Brianne Renee Borcherding, recommended. Miranda May Borchers, recommended. Madison Christine Bowen, recommended. Jacob Earl Bowman, cum laude, recommended. Inaya Kisera Bradford, recommended. Elizabeth Wehama Brafo, cum laude, recommended. Chastity Lene Brown. Kaylin Colby Brown. Kiera Dion Brown, recommended. Michael Jamon Brown, recommended. Samira Somalia Brown. Tanir Lachey Roland Brown. Taylor Ray Bryant, cum laude, recommended. Fong Yuen Bui, cum laude, recommended. Terriana John Butler, recommended. Alexis Jordan Cabrera. Jordan, I beg your pardon. Let's do it again. Hang on. Alexis Jordan Cabrera. Santiago Cruz Camacho, cum laude, recommended. Trayvon Jarrell Cameron, recommended. Anthony Brian Camp, recommended. Austin David Campbell, recommended. Vincent Richard Campos, magna cum laude, distinguished. Kobe Trent Carroll, distinguished. Leah Evelyn Carter, recommended. Stephen Daniel Carter. Oscar Alberto Castaneda, magna cum laude, distinguished. Alana Nicole Castro, recommended. Alyssa Ariana Castro, recommended. Ana Gabriela Castruita, recommended, 3-year graduate. Elizabeth Lynn Catanzaro, cum laude, distinguished. Leslie Seha. Liliana Seha. Alexandra Guadalupe Chapa. Brandon Kintrell Chase, recommended. Amber Lynn Choate, recommended. Xavier Neil Christian, recommended. Dion Uche Chukwineri, recommended, avid graduate. Janae Daniqua Clark, recommended, avid graduate. Tamarin Keyshawn Clemens, recommended. Chelsea Marie Clinton LaGrop, distinguished, avid graduate. Shane Olivia Collins, recommended. Regine Vaucher Kumanchi. Benjamin Dale Kunkel, magna cum laude, recommended. Kenneth Thomas Constant, cum laude, distinguished. Frankie James Cornell, recommended. Brianna Raquel Covarrubias, recommended. Alex Marquise Crane, recommended, avid graduate. Brandy Jolise Craver, recommended, avid graduate. Markina Amia Crenshaw. Daniel Curiel Jr., recommended. Alexandra Karen Dane, recommended. Jasmine Lorraine Dangerfield, cum laude, recommended. Bernicia LaShawn Daniels, recommended. Peter Fong Dao, recommended. Tina Ni Dao, cum laude, recommended. Charles Nathaniel Davies, recommended. Emilio Nate Davila, recommended. Tommy Denzel Davis, recommended. Kayla Renee Delora, recommended, avid graduate. Eric Diaz, recommended. Jesus Rafael Diaz. Samuel Diaz. Nikki Ian Diego, recommended. Haban Ahmed Durer. Darren Tin Doe, recommended. Con Dewey Do Tran, recommended. Berlin Ashton Todd Daughter, recommender. Zachary Turner Eby, cum laude, distinguished. Devin Blake Edwards, recommended. Aaron Jade Edwards, magna cum laude, distinguished. Jacob Lucas Eifert, recommended. Reginald Earl Ellis Jr., recommended. Anthony Orashan Emmanuel, cum laude, recommended. Jocelyn Enriquez, recommended. Karen Elizabeth Eroa. Marco Antonio Escobedo. Stephen John Evangelista, cum laude, recommended. Rami Rustum Fatul, cum laude, recommended, 3-year graduate. Elisa Nicole Ray Fain, magna cum laude, distinguished. Jaylene Renee Felix, recommended, Fire Academy EMT. Edwin Abraham Figueroa, recommended. John Patrick Fletcher, cum laude, recommended. Aiden Ismael Flores, recommended. Randy Omar Flores, recommended. Dequan Fort. Brianna LaShawn Boucher, recommended. Marcus Welby Frazier Jr., recommended. Carmelyn Anna Freeman. Anthony Cortez Bunches. Marty Ryan Garcia, cum laude, recommended. Edgar Ivan Garabay, recommended. Ivan Garza, recommended, avid graduate. Trey Andrew Gear, cum laude, recommended. Ashley Suzanne Gillum, cum laude, recommended. Brandon Marvin Alexander Godbolt, recommended. Michael Christian Gomez, recommended. Adriana Gonzalez, recommended. Esteban Gonzalez, recommended. Roberto Gonzalez, recommended. Victor Abraham Gonzalez, recommended. Bradley Garrett Gowan, recommended. Cameron Eugene Douglas Gratz, cum laude, recommended. Tanner Eugene Greenhall, recommended. Shelby Wanell Griffin, recommended. Stephen Antonius Grigsby. Brandy Renee Hall, cum laude, recommended. Gabrielle Mary Harton, cum laude, recommended. Cyrus Isaiah Harris. Stefan Cleophas Harris. Victoria Ashley Harris. Victoria Danielle Havey, recommended. Markel Levante Hawkins. Jasmine Renee Hayes, recommended, avid graduate. Philip Franklin Hayes, recommended. Desmond Kennard Head, recommended. Ramis Shalon Heron. Andrew Thomas Hebron, recommended. Chastity Markiana Henderson, recommended. Catherine Hernandez, distinguished. Casey Rose Heron, distinguished. Jordan Blake Hicks, recommended. Richard Benjamin Holden, recommended. Ryan James Huck, recommended. Shane Colton Hudson, recommended. Donovan Javon Humes, recommended. Garrett Russell Hurt. Lewis Wynn, cum laude, recommended. Brian Christopher O'Neill Hyman, recommended. Joseph Sergio Iglesias. Tyron Shaquan Irving, recommended. Jada Andrea Ivory, recommended, avid graduate. Basil Creon Jackson, recommended.
I left my card. Kamani, Omari, and Jackson. Kamani, Omari, and Jackson.
Kamani, Omari, Jackson. Derek Armand Jacobs, recommended. Heaven Lee James, recommended. Kiana Ornisha James. Malik Rajim J, recommended. Dominique Adaje Jefferson, recommended, 3-year graduate. Kylie Monroe Jefferson, recommended. Tiana Lachey Jefferson, recommended avid graduate. Blake Raymond Jenkins, recommended. Kyle Andrew Jessen. Fabian Jimenez, recommended. Aaliyah Johar, recommended. Johar, recommended. Danielle Leanne Johnson, magna cum laude, distinguished. Dracian Trayvon Johnson, recommended. Ayana Montoya Johnson Brown, recommended. Michelle Marie Johnson. Maisha Patrice Johnson, recommended. Rachel Arlise Johnson, recommended. Shannon Renee Johnson, cum laude, recommended. David Wayne Jones, Jr. Renee Marie Jones, recommended. Talia Monique Jones. Mary Jo Catherine Junker, recommended. Rashad Demetrius King, recommended. Lily Paulina Knowles, magna cum laude, distinguished. Christian Wiley. Danye Kenyon Little, recommended. Brady Addison Longway, recommended. Joan Christian Lopez, recommended. Alexander Joan Love, recommended. Madeline Brooke Love, recommended, early graduate. Tatiana Kwamboka Mugembe, recommended, avid graduate. Kian Suresh Maharaj, magna cum laude, recommended. Amanda Christine Manel, recommended, Fire Academy, EMT. Michael Wynn Marinas, recommended. Francisco Javier Marquez, recommended. Danny Alexander Martinez, recommended. Jonathan Martinez, distinguished. Selena Carol Mason, recommended. Asian Maurice Mays, recommended, avid graduate. Whitney Taylor McAdoo, recommended. Jarvis Leonard McCoy. Raymond Clyde McCullough II. Bobby Lee Magruder, recommended avid graduate. DeAndre Bernard Magruder. Jeffrey Lavere McGuire. Carlos Ivan Malera Rivas, recommended. Christian Alberto Moraz, recommended avid graduate. Joshua Ray Myers, recommended. Terrell Malik Miller, recommended. Mavery Alyn Mills, recommended. Cynthia Denise Moreles. Cassandra Delilah Moreles, recommended. Ibrahim Scott Makoko, recommended. Jade Talina Montague, recommended. Kayla Christian Moore, recommended. Kimberly Brooke Moore, cum laude, recommended. Jacqueline Morales, recommended. Paulo Gerardo Morales, Jr. Lindsay Brooke Morgan, cum laude, recommended. Donovan Raheem Mosley, recommended. Benjamin Douglas Mounts, cum laude, recommended. Asia Nahila Mohammed, recommended. Joshua Don Mundell. Logan Chase Musmeki, recommended. Claudia Nahara, recommended. Morris Philip Newen, magna cum laude, distinguished. Nestor Inse Ngong, recommended. Kathy Tran No, magna cum laude, recommended, avid graduate. Andrew Sud Wynn, recommended. Dewey Danny Wynn. Dewey Min Wynn, cum laude, distinguished. Johnny Tai Wynn, cum laude, recommended. Kelly Wynn. Larry Tai Wynn, cum laude, distinguished. Lars Jimmy Wynn, magna cum laude, recommended. Lynn Tai Wynn, recommended. Monique T. Wynn, recommended. Tri Min Wen, magna cum laude, distinguished. Marissa Michelle Nieto, distinguished 3-year graduate. Nicholas Alexander Nixon. Fabian Devion Norman. Amanda Lisa Nunez, cum laude, recommended. Jonathan Chudabim Nowicki, Jr. Vanessa Ochoa, magna cum laude, distinguished. Zachary Dylan Ogle, recommended. Rachel Alinga, recommended. Zakora Brianna Nicole Orr, recommended. Stephanie Ortiz, recommended. Madison Maria Elizabeth Ott. Nathan Ryan Paba, recommended. Andres Padilla. Delbrecia Raquel Page, recommended. Brian Palacio, recommended. Mackenzie Alexis Palmer, magna cum laude, distinguished. Jordan Dominique Parrish, recommended. Ronald Renard Parrish, Jr., recommended, avid graduate. Alfred Brandon Parrish, cum laude, distinguished. Caitlin Michelle Pasquale, cum laude, recommended. Jordan Nicole Paterniti, recommended, avid graduate. Emmanuel Niacolino Paul, recommended. Nalina Paul, magna cum laude, distinguished. Dayan Deo Pavlovic, recommended. Carly Allison Marie Penny, recommended. Jose Trinidad Paredes, Jr., recommended. Jeremy Perez, Jr. Vincent Hui Pham, recommended. Brianna Lynn Phillips, recommended. Jonathan Michael Plack, recommended. Taylor Matthew Poole, recommended. Bria Nicole Prentice. Alan Emmanuel Presley. Morgan Janelle Prim, cum laude, distinguished. Amanda Ray Quesada, recommended. Sine Mashur Rahal, recommended. Julie Ann Ramirez, recommended. Madison Celise Ramirez, distinguished. Giovanni Andres Rascon. Oscar Rendon, magna cum laude, distinguished. Juan Jesus Reyes, recommended. Leslie Rivera, recommended, 3-year graduate. Lyndon Alexander Robertson, recommended. Christina Rose Robinson. Elva Rocha, recommended. Andres Omar Rodriguez, recommended. Christian Rodriguez Rodriguez. Jennifer Soledad Rodriguez. Jesus Rodriguez. Joseph Rene Rodriguez, recommended. Matilda del Carmen Rodriguez, recommended. Ruben Rodriguez III, recommended. Ana Alejandra Rojas, recommended. Elizabeth Michelle Rojas. Daniel Olafasayo Rosigi, cum laude, distinguished. Cesar Omar Rubio Martinez. Jacob Venancio Rubio, distinguished. Fernando Andrew Ruiz, recommended. Lila Marie Ruthstrom, recommended. Lindsay Lucia Sakwa, recommended. Antonio Salazar, recommended. Miriam Saldana, recommended. Manar Walid Saleh, recommended. Yolma Salinas, recommended. Taylor J. Sanchez, recommended. Andrew Glenn Sanders. Sabrina Janine Savant, recommended. Marcus Diara Scobie, recommended. Forrest Mackenzie Schwartz, recommended. Ebony Kishan Scott, recommended, avid graduate. Frederick Morgan Scott. Sydney Capri Shelley, recommended. Damian Anthony Shepard Jr., recommended. Heba Shashani, recommended. Tyler Adrian Sims, recommended. Aaliyah K. Smith, recommended. Jessica Ricole Smith, cum laude, distinguished. Michaela Shamante Smith Riles. Anastasia Nell Snowdy, recommended. Dedalua Dorcas Satubo, recommended. Zacchaeus Adodiji Satubo, recommended. Joshua St. John, recommended. Fire Academy EMT. Aubrey Rose Stembaugh, recommended 3-year graduate. Donarcus Gabriel Stewart, recommended. Cameron James Stokes, recommended. Maya Christian Swain Johnson, recommended. Abira Syed, magna cum laude, distinguished 3-year graduate. Dwanisha Davina Tate, recommended. Angelina Charnay Taylor. Keandre Devon Taylor, distinguished. Destiny Seanray Thomas, recommended. William Donald Thomas III, cum laude, avid graduate. Katrina Rochelle Tompkins, magna cum laude, distinguished. Trevor Kwaku Obing Thompson, magna cum laude, distinguished. Zachary Scott Thompson. Tara Paula Tolbert, recommended. Andrew Alexander Alonso Torres, recommended. Kiara Garcia Torres, 3-year graduate. Harlan Tran, magna cum laude, distinguished. Carrie Estelle Tucker, magna cum laude, distinguished. Christian Alexander Uribe. Kaylee Janika Urson, recommended. Michael Giovanni Valdivieso. Diana Araceli Valles, cum laude, distinguished, avid graduate. Paige Jordan Jean Van Hook. Diana Berenice Vargas. Taylor Nicole Vize, recommended. Brianna Nicole Velasquez. Kevin Con Vu, magna cum laude, recommended. Randy Tuan Vu, distinguished. Brooke Lamarcia Wadley, recommended. Kelton Lewis Warren, recommended. Gregory Allen Wesley, recommended. Brooke Mallory West, recommended. Zachary Daniel White, recommended. Colvin Demarie Wilbin. Kirsten Elise Williams, recommended. Michael Aaron Williams, recommended. Eddie Lee Wilson Jr., recommended. Marquise Rashad Winfrey, recommended. Kendrick DeJohn Witherspoon, recommended. Taylor Blake Woods, recommended. Ashley Michelle Young. Nari Menzahir, magna cum laude, distinguished. President of the senior class of 2013, magna cum laude, distinguished Veronica Lee Whitten. Historian of the student body class of 2013, magna cum laude, distinguished Trang Tung Tran. Secretary of the student body class of 2013, magna cum laude, distinguished Brian Rodriguez. Vice President of the student body class of 2013, cum laude, distinguished avid graduate Eric Paredes. President of the student body class of 2013, magna cum laude, distinguished Crystal Monique Sandoval. Number 12 in the class of 2013, Blaram El Maze, magna cum laude, distinguished. Number 11 in the class of 2013, Ivy Fee Vu, magna cum laude, distinguished. Number 10 in the class of 2013, magna cum laude, distinguished, Melissa Diane Janitas. Number 9 in the class of 2013, summa cum laude, distinguished, Jeremy Matthew Meyer. Number 8 in the class of 2013, Abdur Rafay Kadri, summa cum laude, distinguished. Number 7 in the class of 2013, Kevin Hong, summa cum laude, distinguished. Number 6 in the class of 2013, Sarah Emily Pollard, summa cum laude, distinguished. Number 5 in the class of 2013, Neelam Haider, summa cum laude, distinguished. Number 4 in the class of 2013, Kara Ann Renty, summa cum laude, distinguished. Number 3 in the class of 2013, Henson Long Doe, summa cum laude, distinguished. Number 2 in the class of 2013, summa cum laude, distinguished, 3-year graduate, salutatorian of the class of 2013, Brandolin Kimuntu Niera Monene. Number 1 in the class of 2013, summa cum laude, distinguished, valedictorian, Daniel Kwok Dang Nguyen.
Every single one of you sitting here has walked this stage this afternoon. You've shaken a few hands, and you smiled for the cameras. You're a little nervous, maybe anxious, as you set out for the road everyone has referred to as the real world. In the real world, a grade like that can cost you your major. In a real world, you can't show up late. And in the real world, stuff like that will get you fired. Unfortunately, they are most likely right. But a few of us will still test the waters, and all of us are sure to make mistakes. We walked into the hallowed halls of Seguin our freshman year as baby fish at the bottom of the food chain. Upperclassmen toyed with us, but we didn't mind too much. A few years passed, and we became the seniors. We are once again at the top of the list, the leaders of the school. We dealt with the rule changes that came with each new principal, and we survived. We overcame challenges, faced hardships, went through trauma, and climbed mountains. To say we came out stronger is an understatement. We have changed inside and out for the better. I believe that each one of you is off to do great things in life because you are. Maybe among us is the future president, some of you doctors, some of you stay-at-home parents. It doesn't matter what you do. The more important thing is how you do it, and whether or not you do it with your heart. Life may not always treat you well, but don't let it get you down. Keep your head up. Because God has a unique plan for you. He is watching you, and He is protecting you. Your parents are looking out for you, just as their parents did for them. Before we finish up this spectacular evening, let's take a moment to give a round of applause to our parents, our teachers, and our friends. We all have challenges ahead of us that we have to face, and maybe nobody said it was going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. Dr. Seuss wrote this: "You're off to great places, today is the day, your mountain is waiting, so get on your way." I'm going to go ahead and ask the senior class officers to step forward and join me. And now, if the class of 2013 would please stand. Yeah. Once again, high school, class of 2013, the moment you've been waiting for. Please move your tassel from the right to the left